Okay, first video ever. I wanted to show off this quite funny, quite humorous Ulamog Reanimator deck here. We're using Ulamog, Breaker of Creation, Atraxa, and the Rotten Mouth Viper just as our reanimation targets. We're mostly always going to go for Ulamog. Atraxa is good to draw cards sometimes. Breaker is good if they like as a backup for Ulamog. Maybe they like Surgical Extraction us or something. It is a reanimator deck, so you know, if they ever sideboard in something like that, it could be pretty bad for us. I'm playing in best of one because I just don't want that to happen. This deck probably doesn't perform so well in best of three. You know, Tormod's Crypt, stuff like that. Anyway, we're using Assemble with Parts, Emperor of Bones, and Arden here, which all do this thing where they put a creature into exile before they reanimate it. And since Ulamog has this, it enters with +1/+1 counters equal to the highest mana value among cards in exile. If we exile it and then reanimate it, it comes in with 10 1/1 counters on it, which is fantastic. And we can do that all in one go with Assemble from Parts for 4 mana, Emperor of Bones also for 4 mana total, and it gets haste, but we only get it for 1 turn, or Arden, who's our best choice, because he's more expensive, but we can reanimate him with any of our other things like Life and Death, Assemble from Parts, Emperor of Bones, things like that. And then he puts Ulamog, or a copy of Ulamog, onto the battlefield, and it gets haste, and it gets lifelink, and we get to keep it. It stays when we end our turn, which is great. If we do that, we basically just win on the spot. So we have things like Buried Alive, Faithless Looting, Fable, Overlord, just to put these cards into our graveyard. Then we have like a bunch of removal, Fatal Push, Terminate, Dismember, and Thoughtseize. We can Thoughtseize ourselves to put a card in our graveyard if we have to, like if we don't have any Faithless Looting or anything like that. But it's also just like a good card to have, you know, it's a control card. I'm running 61 cards because I couldn't decide on what to cut. I might be running too many lands. I'm running 22, and my mana base is bad, but that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, let's play the game. Let's play some Magic with this thing. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Again, I'm playing best of one just because Graveyard Hate would ruin the deck, I think. The cool bit is that we can do this Ulamog Reanimator thing as fast as turn 2 with like a turn 1, like discard it with a Thoughtseize or a Faithless Looting or something, and then turn 2, if we also discarded the Arden, we can reanimate him with Life and Death, and do the whole thing. So we have Assemble from Parts and Buried Alive, which is basically like a turn 4 win right there. We also have an Ulamog in hand, but nothing to discard it with. I'm going to keep this hand because it has decent colors. The Ulamog would be great to discard and then bring back with Assemble from Parts, and we have a little bit of removal here. So I'm going to keep this. Opponent has Gigantha. I have no idea what that means. I'm just going to go with Blood Crypt tapped. Stitchers. Is it Dredge? Could be Dredge. I don't think it's Dredge. I'm gonna drop another Blackleaf Cliffs and it'll be fine. If they do something this turn, we can Fatal Push it. If we get to untap next turn, we'll probably just Bury It Alive. Diabolic Intent. Okay. I haven't played this game in actually like months, which is why I'm at gold right now. So I don't know 100% what people are playing, but also we're playing Historic, so how bad could it be? So we're going to Bury It Alive. We're going to put Arden and Ulamog because best case we reanimate Arden with Assemble from Parts. If we can't though, if he gets like exiled for some reason, we'll reanimate Ulamog, and then our backup is just going to be Atraxa for the lifelink probably, because some of our reanimation spells like cost life, like a lot of life. Opponent says good game. I'm going to say good game. That stinks. Not too bad though. It doesn't stink too bad. What is this? 3 mana? Okay. So like I said, Ulamog cares about cards in exile, So if we can just discard this one and reanimate it in one turn, with like life or death. Assemble from parts doesn't really do it here, so we'd probably just need a life or death. But if we could do that, he'll still get the 10 1/1 counters on him from Ulamog in exile. Sure, take 3. That's not particularly good. I think one more and we can just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can just cast the Rotten Mouth, which is just like a good card in general. So that'll be something. Opponent doesn't seem to be doing anything. Ah, oh, stink. Is he gonna loop something here? Yeah, I think he might be able to do some sort of like a freebooter loot or something where they make treasures and they can keep recasting a nightmare. And they keep pinging us with the Marionette Apprentice, yep. So we're gonna kill this. Good stuff, good stuff. Not good. Bad stuff. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? They're gonna get something back. I hope it's not the Marionette Apprentice. That would be bad. It totally is, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Well, we'll play the Rotten Mouth. We're not dead yet. But we are pretty close. I think they'll probably just sack a token and we'll take 2, and that'll stink. But if we can build up the counters on the Viper, then we might be able to like wipe their board at some point, or just make them take a bunch. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Okay. That's, I mean, it doesn't do a ton for us, but it takes 3 power off the board, which is something. Cool, nightmares again, go figure. If I was them, I don't know. Good game, sure, good game, opponent. Holy cow. Yeah, that's, yep. Yeah. Wait, did I call it? Hello? Yeah. Looks like they can do it one more time this turn. I'm gonna say we're dead here. Maybe I scooped too early, maybe not. But we're gonna play one more, just because the deck actually works, I promise. I went up from like bronze 4 to wherever I am now with this, so let's do that. You know, I can prove it. Okay. Okay, looking at this, we have an Emperor, which is a great reanimator. We have Faithless Looting and Overlord and a Fatal Push, so we have a pretty good chance of getting an Ulamog in the graveyard. I'll keep. I'm gonna go with the Cliffs and the Faithless Looting. In this case, I'm gonna discard a Swamp and probably the Overlord. Yes. Turn 2, we'll do Emperor of Bones, but we won't be able to use him until we get the Ulamog in the graveyard. Or will we do that? Is opponent elves? That would stink. Let's find out. Let's find out. Opponent is mono green Devotion, so just take his green pips. This is cool. This is good. I'll bury it alive here. Next turn, provided we draw a land, untapped land, we can do the Emperor of Bones thing, and I'll throw a Trax in there too. from what I can tell, opponent has nothing to do right now, but maybe he drew something. Yep, okay. Cool. Cool. Classic play. Okay. Emperor. Faithless Looting. Emperor this turn is going to put Ulamog into exile. I'll just discard both of these. He's probably going to play a big creature at some point. Want to keep the Terminate. So at this point, we can put the Ulamog into exile. The problem is, if somehow they kill the Emperor of Bones while we're in like this exact position, the Ulamog does not go back in our graveyard, it just stays in exile. And we get like 0 value off of this. But our opponent is playing mono green, and they're not going to do that. So, check this one out. Check this out. Step 2, do the Ulamog thing. Come on. It's hasty, 17/17, just exile on Atraxa. It has Annihilator 10 on it, so we're going to wipe our opponent's board completely. And then we're going to hit him for 21 and win. This was turn 4, I think. Maybe turn 5. Maybe I missed 2 land drops. Whatever. This went super great. Yes. Very cool. I feel like we can make this faster. I don't really know how off the top of my head, but it must be possible. I think the Overlords are not a great card for this. Obviously, they do mill us, and eventually they become like a 6/6 or something. But I've never actually flipped one in a game, or not flipped. I've never actually transformed one in a game into a creature. The impending timer has never run off for me. So I think we can probably just use a better card there. Originally, I had like Corpse Churn in the deck. But then I figured that the Overlord was just Corpse Churn but better. Which is true, by the way. I'm not going to keep this. I would really like to keep this. And I will put the breaker to the bottom. Hello, opponent. Blood Crypt tapped. Overlord, yes. Impending 5. I've never... Holy moly. He got the ones that I can hear you. He's gonna say that's rough buddy to me. He's gonna that's rough buddy me. I thought he's started off mono blue so far. Is it lessons? Is it lessons? This is a pretty popular deck. I'm gonna take Accumulate Wisdom, maybe. No, I will probably take the Prowess Creature. That just feels smart to me. Alright, let's go Overlord. Overlord does have a pretty big plus where if it mills like a Emperor... Oh, I should have read the card, you know? Reading the card explains it and all that. If we mill like an Emperor of Bones, we can actually put it back into our hand with this one. So that's cool, but it's not useful most of the time. I'll just assemble from parts the Overlord, because we have 3 mana. Then we get a little 4/4 action here, and some milling. Nothing? Cool. I'll go Faithless, because we want to discard the Ulamog anyway. I'll do it like this. Keeping a Thoughtseize, sounds good. We'll get to do some more milling next turn with this creature here, the Overlord. We do have an Ulamog in there. We just need a way to reanimate it. That'd be nice. Preferably Emperor of Bones, Arden, assemble from parts. Preferably not Life or Death, but Life or Death works too, you know? A 2-mana Ulamog isn't bad, ever. Okay, opponent spent 3 mana taking out our token, and we get another one. This mills 4. This lets us discard. Cool, nothing. Nothing at all. Awesome. I'll go Thoughtseize again. I'd like to take the so this is Ancestral Recall almost. If when they play Grand it will be Ancestral Recall. This one will also make it Ancestral Recall, but if we take this, they just don't get to draw. Right? The artist talent will give them no value because they have no other non-creatures. Hopefully. Cool. Cool. Discard. Was that a third artist talent? Are we serious? Okay. Assemble from parts. We have 4 mana and an Ulamog in the graveyard. This is pretty much the best draw. The issue with Assemble from parts, this is why it's not the best one, it doesn't get haste. We can't up. It still counts. It's good enough. Okay, we're totally 2-1. I trust that you believe me, this deck works, so I'm gonna end the video here, and maybe I'll make another one sometime, maybe. Bye-bye.